Hello, GMAN Division 5B. This is Chugman Milk, your recapper. Joined as always by Dr. Hep.
Hello.
Well, it's game week 9 has ended, now game week 10. This will be. Well, I say this is going to be a bit of a Blitz episode, because I'm very busy. But it won't probably be a Blitz episode. We'll probably still talk for an hour.
Probably.
Probably. But we're going to jump straight into it. We have no new updates. So let's just get straight into it. The first game, Benny Boo's 2-1 victory over Zahu.
Yeah.
Pretty big for Benny. Benny is now very solid there in second place. Zahu, ever since sort of that one game week where he strength downed the gutter runner and had all these sort of little issues and hasn't been running his full team, all 4 gutter runners, he's had a bit of a tough time. Orcs, I think we predicted this could, we never know where Orcs can go.
Yep.
I think you said Orcs, I said Skaven, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think we did say something along those lines.
Yeah. The main problem with this game, or this sort of matchup, is Skaven can run rings around you, but because of Orcs and their high armor and their high strength, if they play solid enough that the positioning is just hard to crack, then even the lightning bolt won't do too much. And unfortunately, it might have been the case here where it was simple enough for the Orcs to 2-on grind.
I mean, I think I've read somewhere that it was kind of a bash fest for the Orcs as well, where the rats kind of imploded.
Yeah, it reads here that 2 KOs inflicted, 3 injuries inflicted by the Orcs mean that the Skaven weren't keeping parity for significant parts of the game. Which if your rats don't explode and you have like 10 rats or even, God forbid, 11 rats, then it can be a whole different game. But Benny got consistent removals and managed to come out on top here, I think.
Yeah, very much so.
So congratulations, Benny. Next game is a 1-1 between Drastak and Hurmel. So that's the Lizards versus the Dark Elves. I think we said that this wasn't going to be an easy game necessarily for the Lizards. But at the same time, the 4 injuries inflicted by Hurmel, although obviously skinks do go kaboom, I believe one of the Sauruses was tagged in that as well. So
2 Sauruses.
Wow.
1 fractured arm and 1 badly hurt.
Yeah, see, so that's... I mean, that can happen. Lizards aren't completely just immune. They don't have like 12 armor. But it's still kind of... You're above the curve, even with Mighty Blow, if you manage to remove 2 as an elf team. So the fortune is there, but at the same time, with similar speeds on this team, 1 with the skinks and they're fast moving, and also the 7 movement 4 badge of the elf team, it makes sense that this would end up in a draw, to be honest.
Yeah, very much so. And I feel kind of bad for both Drasak and the other guy.
Yeah, Hurmel.
Because they both got like good pieces injured as well. Gecko got the guard Bloxorus got a fractured arm, and the Mighty Blow Blodge Blitzer from Hammel's team got a smashed hip. So
okay, so smashed hip is movement down, fractured hand is M&G. I think Hurmel will probably be a bit more upset because that is a perm. But at the same time, a killer piece that does have 6 movement on a Dark Elf team is still viable. I would
very much
still hold on to that. We'll probably talk about more about the actual...
we will talk more about those.
But the 1-1 must be evenly matched at least. Drastak Drastak mainly was one of our top picks, and he's really had a sort of a struggling mid-season.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was a good SP farm from both teams though, so they're probably fine with this game. Even though it was a 1-1.
Probably. I mean, both at this point really aren't competing heavily for the top spot, so SPP farms...
and more SPP farming.
Yeah, precisely. We have a battle here now between humans and orcs, the old derby. That is Animal versus Raz.
Yeah.
And this was also another game where kind of the unexpected happened a bit. About 3 badly hurts on the poor orc side, and they seem to be caused by things like double sculling or falling down, because there's only 1 injury inflicted by the humans. 6 KOs inflicted. Let's look quickly at the KOs. Well, the KOs were fairly equal, it looks like, on the wake up after KOs. And the absence of 2 of those KOs appeared to suggest they happened either on the late game where it didn't matter or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, they were badly hurt on the strength 4 blitzer
Yeah.
and one of the Blackhawks and no linemen. So that's where the injuries on the Orcs came.
Which I believe that must have taken him down by like the 3rd injury to about 8 men.
Yeah.
And
playing down Orcs is much worse, Orc versus human matchup than the humans being taken down players, I would say.
absolutely, it turns. A lot of people like to say, "Oh, well, orcs have strength, but humans have movement." But usually in Blood Bowl, that doesn't matter. However, if it is like an 8v8 or something like that, or even the humans have more than the orcs in that case, then that much touted, "Oh, you have movement at least," is much. It's worth. It actually does something. Is worth way more, in my opinion, than that 11v11.
Yeah,
so
it does.
Raz has been having a hard time. Raz, also in the chat, the Discord has been like, "Oh, I'm, not sure about the team, not sure about REBBL and all that." My suggestion would be, was always next season. You can always re-roll and try again. I had an Orc coach in my last division last season who did the same thing. Although he had a decent season, he just wanted to try a new team. Or alternatively, maybe you would have more fun playing something that isn't Orcs. I'm not saying that Orcs are bad, that Orcs are very good, but at the same time, when I don't have fun of a team this season, I just re-roll next season. So maybe your next team, whether it be Orcs or not, will be even more fruitful. Don't give up hope.
Yeah, don't give up. It's a good team, I would say, still. And I would say start looking into, as I've typed out multiple times now, start looking into a Orc player that can mentor you, maybe, or like someone that you can look through your games with, because then you might get another perspective of what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
If you feel like you're losing games because of your fault or just dice.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember what I've said in like the past about look at this, look at that. My fallback option is always look at something like Dionysian's channel, because a lot of YouTubers or streamers will be like give you fairly solid advice here and there, but the problem is that sometimes streamers aren't the best, or YouTubers aren't the best at explaining why these actions are good, like how to get into a particular mindset about why an action might be good one match and why not be bad the other match, despite being theoretically the same action, for example. So I would say look into Dionysians, but at the same time, I think REBBL does have some sort of mentoring program.
It does. It's super awesome. I'm a mentor, so I can confirm.
Yeah, so if you feel like mentoring is the way to go, obviously Raz also says that he has had coaching lessons through Andy Darvo, who is a fantastic coach himself.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for another perspective, a second opinion, new eyes, just get into contact with HEP and talk to him about the mentoring program.
Yeah.
That's what we have to say on that. The next game we have is your game versus King Kong.
And it was a crazy game because all I did was roll good shitty dice. Not really.
You injured 5 people. You injured 5 people.
Yeah, I rolled amazing. He didn't stand a chance, unfortunately. Dice were in my favor, I would say. I outbashed an undead team as pro elves with no mighty blow.
Yeah, this to me definitely looks like it has the hallmarks of maybe a dicing, to be honest. Because 22 blocks succeeded and 5 of those are injuries with no mighty blow is definitely above the curve.
Yeah, very much so. He did some mistakes. I can't say that it was many, but some, like letting the goals out for a bit, and I took an opportunity to punch them really fast. And I scored fast as well, more done than often.
And it's also a very big SPP game for you as well. With
very much.
I'm not gonna do the maths here, but it's exceeding 20. Certainly, it might be 30
I believe
SPP.
it was like 29 or something, so it's not beating my current record at 32 or something.
That is an insane game, and now you are playing for SPP. I would say, perfect game for you.
Yeah, it seems like I need to play more for SPP than to just try to win.
Well, then you get SPP, you win. You know, both things happen.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
congratulations there.
Yeah.
Congratulations there.
Thanks.
Next game is a shocker. Well, not a shocker. We kind of said this could happen.
Yeah.
But this is a shocker.
I predicted it.
We predicted it, and it completely tears up the league a little bit because we said
So nice.
the Bretonians who played the High Elves could win, and you know what? They did win, despite Falcon Merc's like protests that it was lucky,
Yeah.
it wasn't very likely that this thing that got me the win was going to happen. The way I like to look at those is, well, you can only put as much pressure on something that that's physically possible, and if it cracks and you lower the percentage for a play that someone has to make against you to less than 100, then you did what you did, and then it just didn't. It worked out that time, okay. But secondly, it might have been very likely that you had drawn at least, so even that would be a pretty successful result. So either
No,
way,
I would say that we were fairly accurate was by saying that his team were kind of cut out to be the team to beat the High Elf team.
I still think so because of the wrestle and the decent
Yeah,
movement.
the wrestle guard, the pommer, the tackle pommer, I mean, he had everything he needed for a Brett team to beat this sort of High Elf team.
Yeah, definitely. I will like to point out it didn't 100% work in the way that we said it was going to work because the High Elves outbashed them and also got more injuries, which is for no mighty blow again. That is a little bit crazy and shocking to me. So I don't know. This game seems like a bit of a mad one, but either way, I would say we're still fairly. It's still fair for us to have said that this was the team, no matter what happened in the game, that was more likely to beat the High Elf team than anything else in the league.
Exactly.
So, just take the win, Falcon Merc, and be happy, I'd say. But that shakes things up. So commiserations to Nabla, that shakes things up.
It does.
The next game now is Mago played Regis T.
Yeah.
This I think
we called it for the humans because Mega's team isn't developed enough.
Absolutely, and it kind of looks like. Well, I mean, humans at the same time, 4 KOs, 2 injuries. I mean, that's kind of crazy in a way. I mean, a lot of 8 armor on that necromantic team either way.
Yeah.
But still, I think it's more so the case of you have a human team that's so clearly developed that they can press all of their advantages, while the necromantic team is more so, I have 1 or 2 things that could be useful rather than a well-oiled machine. So if, for example, the human team gets to bash you because they can just apply pressure, you can't, then I guess they are going to be able to be more successful, at least in positioning, potentially get more blocks, even if the sort of the KOs inflicted and the injuries inflicted by humans compared to how many blocks it succeeded in that kind of speak of a little bit of a humans were again were kind of favored in their injury dice.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
But, Mego doesn't need to win. He just needs to get SPP, and hey, he's got 1 2 level up, so he can be happy about that.
Exactly. And it's some really good players as well.
Yeah. And the last game, the Baltigor Ravens versus Grimtail. So that is the Dark Elves versus the Nurgle.
Yep.
This game, I think we said, it's kind of hard to see the Elves not win, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's Elf versus Nurgle. I think we believe he said that unless Innovation pops a few heads on the Elf team, he's gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, and this is the thing that happens. So 16 armor breaks on the side of the Nurgle seem really impressive, right? That could definitely, in some games, that could mean the Nurgle completely either pitch clear you or get everything they need to win the positional game.
Yeah.
But it's worth pointing out that he only got 3 KOs inflicted and 1 injury inflicted, and the Baltigor Ravens matched him in KOs inflicted.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you get KO'd more so than the Dark Elves, you're going to lose the positional game anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Dark Elf benefit, any Elf team that have more player than you are beneficial.
Absolutely.
Because as someone would say was saying with when I faced Ras, that having 5 versus 11 as pro elves is a fair match still.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
And it's agreeable upon all other elven races. So whenever you're down versus elves, or the same, the elves are ahead.
Absolutely.
It's a dumb saying, but it's actually works out that way.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so, fair enough there from Bolterplop.
Yep.
Congratulations on the win. I know we're
Yep.
going to struggle
Very much
there.
so.
I also like to point out for anyone at home, I had lowered my desktop audio from like just a fraction. So if you heard like a small, tiny spike, it should be. I've just upped that. So yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
But that is the game week that has just happened. Congratulations to everyone who won. Commiserations to those who lost, and I guess to everyone who drew. Now we move on to everyone's favorite part, the team recap.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna.
This is a long one,
This
unfortunately.
is a long one. We are gonna do standings and that just after this.
Yeah.
But we're gonna look at the teams first. I have a small list of those who didn't get any level ups, so we'll ignore them when we get to them. The Nurgle didn't get level ups. Animals, humans didn't get level ups. Raz didn't get level ups, and the Bretts didn't get level ups. So we can start off with the Richard T. Luckily, he does have level ups.
Yeah, he does.
The key level up here is the strength up that he managed to get on Roger the Catcher.
Oh, did he get a strength up? Oh, that's so good for him. So that now almost becomes like his main. Like with 8 movement, he can really blitz with that target now, with that piece, if you wanted to.
I think he'll want to blitz more so the piling on, usually.
But oh, yeah. I mean for ball hawking action sort of deals. Or like really far movement sort of deals.
Well, what it looks like he's going to do more so now is shove immediately Dauntless on the wrestle catcher guy.
Yeah.
And make him the ball hawk. What excites me more about Roger really is when he gets sidestep diving tackle, which like a lot of catchers do. A lot of people don't use their catchers as catchers because it's kind of a waste. You shouldn't be throwing really.
Yeah, exactly.
That's no longer just 2 dice into 2 dice, constantly punching someone around a cage. He has to lend assist to that. So it's very easy for him to run out of strength quite quickly.
Yeah.
He is now missing a guard, though, for the week.
He is. But I must say that a strength 3 catcher is much better than a strength 2 catcher. Because now it's actually like a 1 dice to hit down rather than a 2 die. Yeah. If he stands in the middle of a cage. For another bull hook to punch him. So it's a big deal in the long run when he's carrying the bull.
Yeah, it is a big deal for either when he is being a receiver or when he is in the future that sidestep diving tackle piece, which I think catchers are best used for.
Exactly.
But this is a very solid team. He still is keeping the dirty player niggle guy. Fair enough.
Understandable.
Yep. This team is very solid, though. Richard T's team is phenomenally good. It was definitely our favourite human team of the 2 for a long while, and I guess it might still be his, but I haven't checked on this team in a while. And he hasn't really gotten anything since last week. So
exactly.
Yeah, I would say Richard T is the slightly better developed human team.
Yep.
But that's neither here nor there. Now we move on to your team, though.
Yeah, my team, we are doing really well all of a sudden. We got a tackle on a blitzer and accurate on a thrower. And we are actually up to 9 players now, boys. Woo!
So you could literally have 11 players for next game week if you chose it.
Yeah, if I choose it, but
probably won't.
Hey, yeah. We are still at AV7, so we're going to keep the loners as long as we can.
Yeah, get that 4th catch, and then when you have all the positionals, then you can start building a bench if you manage to stay healthy.
Actually, we have deeply talked about this in the Pro Elf community, and we want 11 players before we buy a 4th catcher.
Okay.
Because we want 3 linemen to go on the LOS line, not then catcher.
That's fair enough. Yeah, that's true.
So, and not the Agi 5 either, because he can develop to become something amazing.
Yeah, that's true. So this team is looking very solid.
It's dumb.
We like it. We like it. Harmel is our next coach. He has level ups. It looks like, I think he's got Keeley diving tackle on his Blodge tackle blitzer. Which is in my opinion, quite a nice combo. Tackle's always good, especially on diving tackle, because
it
means that some Edge 4-piece trying to dodge away doesn't get the free built-in reroll to do it at like the end of the turn or whatever. I believe he also got tackle on the Mighty Blow Witch Elf.
Yeah, he did. It's a tackle.
That's a tackle, and obviously that's just necessary. There's no debating that point really.
No.
And he also managed to get.
He fired the Mighty Blow dodge.
He did.
Blitzer. Yeah.
He did. Yeah, that was
because of the smashed hip. Because that was his third.
That was the third level up. Yeah. Which obviously, if it's like you didn't get anything special, you could be like, well, I'm just gonna recycle it. I probably would have kept it, but I guess hey, you had the money to buy your Blitzer right back, and you can develop him however you want. So let's hope he gets Mighty Blow.
Yeah, exactly. It might, but hey, it was a Mighty Blow. I wouldn't have fired it, I believe.
I guess the rationale is you already have a Mighty Blow Witch. It's not like you're you'll usually be blitzing with that every turn. Anyway.
True.
The only kind of downside is you don't have a safe Mighty Blow Blitzer anymore because you have Frenzy on the Witch Elf. But the argument can be made is that he won't overextend himself anyway. So he'll just blitz the good value targets when he knows he can absolutely hit them with that Witch Elf. And also, he can't really blitz, in his mind, with the 6 movement anyway, so...
okay, and he got a block on the Polymonium 210 as well, because that got a MVP.
Yeah, Polonium...
So he got a block.
Yeah, that's alright. Yeah,
and block lineman is always good.
Yeah, why not?
So.
Yeah. So... Again, good team. We now move on to Benny Boo, who I think got 1 level up. What was it?
This system that I'm running right now is so much slower to check who leveled up than before. It was a Blitzer and a lineman.
Yeah,
so Tasty Toaster, Tasty Trotter 2 and Tasty Tail 2.
Though player's good. Tackle, I usually don't go as a first skill on a Blitzer, but we could look at his thing and say elves. If it's elves, whatever, he needs to tackle anyway. Yeah, it can just get. It can get Mighty Blow or Guard or when it wants.
He's facing Hounds of Nagash next, so it's 4 ghouls.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Don't really have a complaint. The team still looks as solid as it did last week with only those additional additions.
He's a 30-player lineman. That's a really big addition for his team.
Yeah, it means that he can foul ghouls all he wants next game.
Which is nice.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Definitely.
We don't like ghouls here.
I don't hate ghouls. There's 7 armor and they're no regen. They're usually like nice SPP and Piatas. It's usually skinks that I hate. And speaking of skinks,
we
do have
a level up skink
level up,
which turned into Sure Feet.
Yeah. Why not? That's good.
Why not? It's a super skink now.
Well, that means the 1-turner should be insanely easy because you only need 2 pushes. And 2 pushes that you get are really reliable.
Unfortunately, his guard Saurus is out for next game, but
that is sad. But he should still outstrength pretty much any coach he comes across, and if he is significant,
actually, it's the one team that he actually wanted versus because it's Demon Lammers, the Animals human team.
Yeah, but at the same time, he does still outstrength Demon Llamas, and at least he can get like a bribe, or he can get like an extra skink or something.
True.
It's not the worst thing in the world. It just kind of sucks. But that Draft X team still the skink level ups aren't too much to shout at home about. At least it's good for the 1-turner.
Yeah.
King Khan got level ups though.
Yeah, he did.
He got grab on a mummy, which is very good.
See, giving levels to everyone in your face.
You say give stat ups, that's not a stat up. So it's not that.
True.
It's okay.
Well,
Grab's good. Grab's good.
Grab is good for 1-turning. So now he can actually almost try to 1-turn if you get a frenzy piece or somewhere. Or
I mean, it's still very easy. Like how he doesn't need any pushes, and he doesn't even need to dodge through. You can just blitz through, so you can either.
Yeah.
It's good. I like grab more so even though because it's just like someone stands something next to a mummy.
Yeah.
The
You
mummy
can keep him. You can keep the player on the mummy.
precisely. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the only level up, so it's not. He has got 1 or 2 pieces out, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
One of his ghouls won't be there. The block one.
Yeah, I punched some pieces around quite
Yeah.
a lot. So.
Yeah, you did a number on this team.
Yeah, I did. Sorry about it. I niggled one zombie as well. So.
Let's see if that one's niggles. Yeah, he needs to
Yeah.
fire man who had ass. And that needs to be fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go to Nabla's team. So Nabla team,
Yep.
Nabla took a loss, but his team is fine, completely fine.
Yep.
He had a level up.
He did indeed, and it was on Alguero, the lineman, who has now kick.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. I mean,
Yeah, it's good. It's good for blitzers.
you do, yeah, kick is very necessary on any elf team, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's much easier to get on something like, I would say, pro elves, because you're not sacrificing a ton of TV.
Yeah.
It's just like 30 extra TV that just goes somewhere. But he had to get kick at some point. I usually put on like something that isn't a skilled already linesman.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm sure he was like, okay, I need my kick to go somewhere much more reliable. Now I'm in like the crunch moment of the division and the season. So I
possibly so. He possibly see the future of being in the playoff, and being playoff kick is really good because of those poor damn blitzers and such.
precisely. So I think that's quite important, and I back it either way.
Yeah, same.
We have a bit of a grim tiding here. 2 of the teams we're going to look at next seem to have level ups they haven't taken.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, I believe he got guard. Mego got guard on the white.
Yeah, guard on the white.
So that's good. And now his kick zombie has something else, and that's a real predicament.
Yeah, I bet it's like a double or something weird, or like a movement up or something.
I think it's just he wants to know whether or not to fire it on a normal.
Yeah, it might be one of those.
My view, if it's a normal, you could give it dirty player, but more likely it's probably best just to fire it. If it's a double, guard, because guard block zombies are actually very good.
Yep. Yep.
If it's a move up, don't take it. Just fire it. If it's a strength up, do take it. Strength up zombies are surprisingly amazing as Bash Buddies, Berserk's team up in the higher divs has shown many a time before. So I would say fire it if it's not a double. Fire it if it's not a good stat up.
Yeah, fire it if it's anything else than a strength up or a guard.
Yeah.
There is a world where dirty player kit pieces are good though.
There is, but it's it's just.
But for his TV, I would say that keeping your TV down will win you more games than keeping your TV up.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you can gain the inducement game going.
Yeah, and then he needs the inducements. He needs like Cheney. He needs like a wizard or something. He needs something to be that real useful deciding factor.
Yeah. Then we have Boulder Plops team.
Yeah, he got 1 level up. He got sidestep on a witch elf.
Yep. Exactly.
It's all right. Personally, I do think that I might have gone something else. I might have gone for something like tackle. Yeah, tackle.
Dauntless.
Yeah. I mean, the problem for me for this witch elf in particular is just that I think it should be a wrestle witch elf.
Yeah.
And now it's looking like next level up, if it rolls a double, it should just be fired and recycled.
Yeah, it seems like one of those switches.
Yeah, you've got one great one. This one seems to be developing a little bit too normally. But yeah, whatever. This team is also really healthy.
It is. It is extremely healthy for being an elf team.
Both elf teams, or both dark elf teams, that is already healthy. Actually, remarkable.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
Only your team is the one that's taken really any attrition, and you're like have stopped taking that attrition.
Yeah, it seems like winning the game actually stopped nutrition for some reason.
Nicely. And unfortunately, Azar Hughes the last.
Yep.
We're looking at, and he hasn't got level up yet. We'll discuss it like if this was a double.
Yeah,
So if this was a double, my view is that he should get 2 heads because that's pseudo edge 5 on the dodges. That's
yeah,
becoming your Sacker anyway, so it's really easy to get into loose cages.
it is.
For
It
the
is.
uphill dice.
Yep.
It,
There is a world where you can take big hand or something if you want him to pick up the ball, but then the wrestle is like unnecessary.
yeah, big hand. Like
So building him like a ball hawk is more reliant.
yeah, and I would also say build him ball hawk, and considering you only really have 3 gut runners now because one is always on the bench until the 1-turners, it's probably
Yep.
much more useful just to make sure your gut runners that you have are just really efficient at their jobs. So
Yeah, exactly.
big hand for me is a little bit too much like, oh, this would be quite nice on my 4th gut runner.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because it's also wrestle, I like to put guard on my gut runners sometimes because it's a wrestle piece. I wouldn't take guard either way. So 2 heads for me.
I can see a world where I too would take guard, where I can just stand him up and be, oh, he's fine over here, or
Yeah.
dodge him out to be where I want him to be because of the high movement.
Yeah, but I would prefer on a block piece is all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you take what you get.
Yeah. He's also got
Sometimes.
he's got a move down throw, which I think he should fire. It's just block.
Yeah.
It's not that useful.
Yep.
Maybe this
Movement
time
on
he can
throw,
be
fire it.
accurate.
Yep.
The best thing about throw is that he's fast and has sure hands, and if he's not fast anymore, then he's useless for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, team is pretty much the same as last week. If it's
Yeah.
normal,
It's a solid rat team.
if the gut run of wrestle has normal, by the way, probably pick up either
Tackle.
No, it can be strip ball, tackle, or dauntless. Either one is good.
Oh yeah, right.
For
Strip ball is really good for him then.
Yeah, strip ball's amazing.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He has to search out what his next couple of matchups are, but he should be fine
Yeah.
with that.
And of course, McNaughton's admin team hasn't done a damn shit the whole season.
Yeah, what a terrible player, McNaughton, bad player. If you look at the recap channel, when I post the recaps in there, you'll notice that every recap I put, he spells out chav on the thing with the emoji reacts.
Yeah.
So that's a fun, interesting thing. That I'm always read it and go, what a scamp. We now go on quickly to the things, the thingamabobs.
The things.
Yeah.
The thingamabobs.
The leaderboards.
The leaderboards.
And we said it
So
was.
shall
we said we're right there now, and we said it was exciting. We said it was absolutely exciting, and guess what? It is.
It is.
Because of that draw and the loss that Nabla took, his season has taken a small hit, not massive, but
Yeah, a small hit.
What it has done is now Benny Boo and Nabla are very close, so first place is now very competitive again.
Yeah, it is. It's very competitive.
In addition, Falcon, Merc, and Animal are actually kind of still high flying, and they can, with a good 2 weeks, usurp the position Benny Boo has in second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have quite an interesting running of games now. Next 4 game weeks.
We do indeed, and I just posted the last week's percentages for you too,
okay,
so you can actually compare.
Really?
So actually, the High Elves kind of went down 10% in the playoffs spot and 9% in the Challenger spot, where Falcon Merc's team actually lowered themselves. No, they heightened themselves, and Benny's team heightened themselves like double up.
Yeah, Benny doubled their potential of getting into either
Playoffs or
yeah.
Challenger.
So a nice 60% or 66% is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is stunning of a turnaround. Well, not really a turnaround, but that's stunning of how much that can happen in like a game week or 2.
Oh yeah.
The one thing that should be mentioned is, unfortunately, everyone else has now had their chances shoot rapidly down. Like, there's not really a chance, realistically, for Richard T, Drastak, Zahu, or Bolterplop to go anywhere. And although there's been an overall drop for Animal and Falcon Merc, they should still be like, well, I'm very, very, very likely to go somewhere. Actually, yeah, Falcon Merc's chances have gone up actually.
Yeah, it has, and I would say they have still a decent shot on the Challenger Cup. So if they're
Definitely.
looking for to get really big promotion to like Div 3 or something, you should definitely take that challenge.
Absolutely. So that's a pretty interesting turnout. Now the league is like a lot more competitive at the top, which you like to
Yep.
see. It's not like my division, which is pretty much only competitive in the second division, in the second spot. Anything can happen now. And
Hmm.
speaking of anything can happen, let's now look at the predictions, the matchups for the next game week, and see what can happen. And
Yeah.
it's a bit of a doozy. Firstly, a less important game, but still, Zahi versus Rich's T
Yeah. I
is
actually believe that Sahu can take this if he plays well with his one turner.
Yep, I think he can always win this because of the one turner, but I will say I think Rich's T's human team is such a great team with
It's just a force.
eight
Yeah.
movement piling on Mighty Blow, amazing. He has a tackle, I believe. He
Yeah.
has definitely the guard advantage,
Oh
definitely the
yeah,
removal
very much so.
advantage, and also those catches are really coming along. The catches
They are.
that wrestle catch will be fantastic in this matchup because of most of the things he would want to sack are 2 strength anyway, so 1 dice is almost guaranteed.
Yep.
For me, it has to be Rich's T.
Yep. I believe in you, Sahu.
Yep.
Make my prediction right.
So 2-1 for me for Rich's
Yeah,
T.
2-1 for Sahu.
A bigger game now is
Innovation versus Falconmark.
Yep, precisely. This is a game that the Bretonians must win to keep their chances of getting into a spot, either playoffs or Challenger Cup alive.
Yep.
Personally, for me, I very much think this is going to be the game for the Bretonians to lose. They have to win.
Yep.
And they have the superiority, so they really... It's theirs to lose in that sense. I think that the piling on tackle is amazing, even if tackle won't be really a skill. I think I think the Edge 5 will be very useful. And just generally the team is much more effective at this point in the season than the comparable Nurgle team.
Yeah. I believe that the Falconmark will win if his Dauntless will make the game. The Dauntless will make this game, right?
Yeah,
Because
generally.
of all the strength 4 and on the Nurgle team. So if Falconmark's Dauntless keeps up with what he wants to do, he will win this game.
Oh, tackle does
2-1.
Well, okay. Well, firstly, tackle does work. The tackle pom does work against the Lodge Nurgle Warrior, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But also, let's look at the Bretonians. They also have a good amount of guards, so yeah, Dauntless could be the thing that decides the game in a lot of ways. But at the same time, they do have the guard, I think, to back each other up.
They do.
So
I mean, the Dauntless will. If the Dauntless triggers and you have a 1 die, it almost becomes a 2 die. So, if you already got a 1 die, so
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if Dauntless does a job well, it will certainly be the decider of that game.
Absolutely. But I do back Falconmark here. I think he's got a great
Yeah.
chance. We have an elf off now. Your fast
Yeah.
elves versus their more bashy elves of Bolt Plops. So that's
Yeah,
Dark elves
yeah.
versus Pro elves.
I'm scared for this game.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So again, just a quick refresher from Bolt Plop's team. No Mighty Blow, but he does have quite a lot of edge up. He does have a move up blitzer. He has a lot of blodge. He's only really lacking on tackle. At least he does have a wrestle piece. He can still outbash you either way.
Yep. I'm more on the blood spam than he is, I believe. But I believe also that he will get the inducement right for our match.
No, he won't.
Oh, he won't?
No, you get
Oh, that's so good. That's so good for me.
You get like you probably get something like you could scum a bribe. You could I think you can. You can absolutely get a
scum a wizard.
Yeah, I don't think you can. So 60, 60, so 120 onto that. So you could scum a wizard. I think.
Yeah, I can scum a wizard. I need 20k to scum a wizard. I burn my whole bank, but I can't scum a wizard.
Yeah, Yeah.
So I want to say, if he would like to score a lot and actually develop his team, we can be looking for a 4-4.
Good.
But at the same time, if you want to win, we could also be looking at a 2-1 to someone.
I think it's going to be more likely 2-1, just because I think the Dark Elves don't want to get in a score off with Pro Elves. I think they'll try and grind it if they can.
Yeah, I can see why as well.
Definitely. So this is a hard one to predict. I'm going to give it to the Dark Elves purely because I think Dark Elves have a little bit more staying power due to the armor.
Yep.
But we'll see how the inducement, whatever it is, shakes out.
Yeah, same.
Next game is Mago versus Raz, his Orcs, versus Mago's Necromantic. This game is a little bit kind of a matchup between two really, if not bashed up teams, two coaches who've definitely been struggling this season. And I'm going to say we've always been wanting Raz to win each game week ever since the run kind of started, his losing run. I actually think that Raz has a fantastic chance of winning because he just has more to his team. He has a bit more, or at least equal guard, I think. Maybe roughly equal. He has decent removal options. He can definitely match like the Flesh Golems. He has way more chances to impress himself upon the Necromantic team than the Necromantic team has as a response to him. I think Claw Mighty Blow is still running around. So yeah, that could very well be a decider.
It could be a decider, but then again, we have also seen matches where the Claw doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
right?
So true. So this is, I think for me, it's still Raz, either way.
Yeah, I believe Raz is going to take this home.
Yeah, we'll say Raz 2-1.
2-1, yeah. 2-1 Raz.
Now, an important game here, because this is Nomentano.
Yeah.
Athletics versus Just One Bite, so Haramal versus the High Elves of Nabla. This is a bit of a hard one to really say who's going to win. However, I will point out that the Dark Elves do get a wizard.
Yeah, they do. And I would say, unfortunately, that the High Elf have a higher percentage of winning this one because their team is just better.
I would say Mighty Blow Tackle Witch could change things massively.
Yeah, I can see that.
He can snipe certain pieces. Those catches are really vulnerable. But if he like gets a blitzer or even manages to get the creme de la creme there in Disco Ball, it could mean a lot really for Haramal. The one thing to say is that it won't be a game that removals are the only thing that the Dark Elves can rely on, because at the end of the day there are 13 High Elves on that pitch.
It is, and they are still AV8 as well.
Yeah, precisely.
All of them except 2. So
well, a Dark Elf, a start of 11, they can only really get 11. Unless they decide to buy like a Merc, which they probably won't do because the Wizard's a little bit more useful for me here. So if they they take out 3 High Elves and the High Elves manage to bash and KO 2 Dark Elves, you're still massively down numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would still say Nabla has an advantage for me, but Haramal could definitely do something.
Yeah, and this is what we are talking about as well, people, where the lower person divs or people can still affect the top div. Why by these matches? So
precisely, absolutely. Next game is Houndsman the Gash versus Saucy Pigs. So that is the Undead versus the Orcs. This is going to be an Orc win for me. Not only does Benny Boo have a great run going on, he needs to win this anyway.
Yeah.
But at the same thing, the one thing I think that is the issue for an Undead team is always they struggle to get into the matchups where they are clearly matched and, in fact, being outbashed, because there's more strength even if it doesn't reach the peaks that it does on the Undead team.
Yeah.
There's more strength generally on Saucy Pigs. There's a lot of development here and there on Saucy Pigs.
Yep.
They have a little bit of everything they could possibly want. They even have, I believe, the Edge. Even if it's only on the throw and the blitzer, they have a lot of things, and they also have a really good troll. The troll is block, so for me it has to be Benny. I really think Benny is the one to win this.
Yeah, even the wizard can't change this matchup, unfortunately. I believe that Benny's gonna win this 2-1.
Yeah, if this was a game, if this was Necromantic, where Necromantic get like a 8 movement wolf, or Benny had like an edge up ghoul, it'd be a different thing. But you're also, one of your ghouls is out, so you don't get all four. You don't get all 4 ghouls for King Khan's team, and one of
Yeah.
those ghouls is the tackle only ghoul, so that is
Exactly.
just a victim.
Yeah.
I really rate Benny Boo's chances of winning this. So
Yeah.
let's see if he wins this.
Yep,
And last
yep,
game,
yep.
Demon Llamas versus Jesteruni. Animal versus Drastak. Drastak has kind of fallen by the wayside, but Animal still has a very good chance of getting there. And this is a hard game for Animal, because Animal has to face Lizardman team, who not only gets inducements, could get a wizard, for example.
It could, yeah.
The one advantage he does have is one Saurus is out.
Yeah.
But, and also I guess Animal has the 8 movement for Edge on that catcher. But the fact is that the 2 guard, one of them being 5 strength, still a lot of the time doesn't really make up the strength gap for me. However, I will say this. The reason why I don't like humans in the Orc matchup, despite their movement, is every piece is tough, and every piece can be a great way to outstrength a human team. But if you got all of those Sauruses tied up, maybe one Saurus tied up by one single piece, for example, 2 Sauruses tied up on one piece.
Yeah.
The fact is that they have to protect the skinks, you don't have to protect an Orc, and because of that, if Demon Llamas finds the right kind of pathway or time to strike, and you essentially have a bunch of skinks pressured and they can't do enough to defend, it'll be very easy to score on the Lizardman team. So I still rate Animal for this, personally. I would still kind of think about rating Animal as the potential victor of this battle. Even if the Saurus wasn't out, even if it wasn't down the Saurus Drastak.
Yeah.
But
we never know.
I'll say Animal. I think Animal has to win this, and I predict Animal because he's done very well, and his team.
I think Drastak is gonna pull through and win this for some reason. I just feel it. It's like a gut feeling, you know.
This is when it turns out there's been a what's the word? Betting syndicate within 5B, and you're the puppet master, and you've been arranging. Yeah. But yeah, so okay, well that's something to examine. You say one thing, I say the other thing for this matchup.
Yep.
But those four that we pointed out being the Bretonnian game, the High Elf game, the Saucy Pigs game, and Demon Llamas. Those are all very, very important games.
Very much so.
We'll give those a little bit more of a look-see next week. But that is now the recap.
It is.
So, thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome. It was a very fast one.
No, it's 47 minutes. It's not fast at all. It's the same.
I mean, it's faster than an hour.
It's faster than an hour, but that is how time works. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been the slowest thing in the world.
It felt like a fast one.
It felt like 30 minutes, but then I've done the 30 minutes one, and I've realized, like, oh my god, that is way faster.
Yeah, we ramble too much.
We do, but
you guys like our ramble. Yeah. It seems like.
And luckily, because you managed to get home in on time.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest, we managed to do this before I had to play my game, which I'd play in about 20 minutes.
I skipped this door for you. So
I'm actually
gonna go shopping afterwards.
Well,
You're welcome.
Hopefully, all the adulation and everyone loving the recap will be more than payoff for that.
It will most likely.
But until next week, it's us signing out. Good luck for everyone on their games, and especially you, Dr. Het, because you're here.
Thank you.
I can say that. But
thank you.
We'll see you this time next week, hopefully. Until then, have a great day.
Have a good one.